What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Mamba, and I am here to give you guys my quick mini movie review on Avengers Endgame. Now, technically, I already shot this video. I shot it the Monday after it was released because I saw it the weekend that it was released. However, I wasn't crazy about the film, and I decided to wait a little bit for everyone to kind of catch up and see the movie because there are going to be spoilers in this video. And if you haven't seen it, too bad, that's what you get because it's been out for a couple weeks now. So this video will have spoilers. So I'm just going to discuss some of my favorite parts, some highlighted moments in my overall view of the movie, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to discuss is the fact that Marvel still manages to surprise me, even though I'm pretty sure I could have sworn I've known all their tricks of what they're going to do. I was really surprised that within the first 15 minutes of the film, we were already at the garden cutting off Thanos' head. I was not expecting that so quickly in the film, being that this was like a 3.5 hour movie. I really don't understand how the main villain, we're already at where we were. And after watching the film, I understood that really the movie was just based on how broken the Avengers were and how they come together and try to save the world once again. So it was really, really amazing that they still managed to make such a long film and really develop the story enough that it doesn't drag, because at no point did I feel like the story was dragging. So that was an A+ on that part. I was so shocked that happened so quickly, yet the movie was still so satisfying. So awesome sauce for Marvel. Second thing that I wanted to mention is the tension that was happening between Tony and Steve that was still kind of dragging on from Captain America Civil War was really, really a good tension that I felt was necessary, because it shouldn't have been like they didn't just jump in and they were like, the Avengers are defeated and that's what's going to bring them together. There was still tension that was going on between Tony and Steve that still kind of kept them broken up a little bit, which added an extra element of drama. So when Captain Marvel brought back Tony and Nebula in that outburst that Tony has when they're meeting up again, you can see there's still a lot of unresolved issues that were happening that just really added another layer of drama to it. So I really, really like that because it kind of humanized it a little bit. I kind of feel like if this really were to happen, especially if Civil War happened and all of a sudden Infinity War happened, how that would still be a very big problem, that they weren't fully together. The Avengers were had fallen apart prior to Infinity War. So that was a great element as well. Another really fun tidbit was the comic reliefs in this film. So the big comic reliefs were, to me, between two characters, and surprisingly Ant-Man wasn't a part of it. Even though he was just normal, sarcastic self, he wasn't really a big comedic relief. If anything, he was more of an important key factor in it, including the quantum realm. But to me, the two biggest reliefs in this had to be Thor, the post-Infinity War Thor, and then the Hulk. So we had Thor, who was just coming off of Thor Ragnarok. He already lost Asgard. He lost his homeland. He's lost his father. He's lost his sister. He lost his brother. He was pretty much coming off of a shit situation and then jumped immediately into Infinity War. So it was pretty interesting to see how he became post Infinity War, because now he was like in this whole shut out from the world. Even the new Asgard here on Earth, he was not messing around with anything. He was not interested, and he had this beer belly and he was just pessimistic as hell. He obviously was dealing with a lot of anxiety and somewhat of a PTSD situation going on. Kind of reminds me a lot of what happened to Tony after Ultron. So I think that was a really interesting element to that. But his comedic aspect in this, because he was drunk and freaking out of shape, and it was just hilarious. So I loved his character in this because we're just not used to that version of Thor. Then we had Bruce Banner, and Bruce Banner finding an equilibrium between him and the Hulk. So seeing Banner in Hulk form was such an interesting, fun, new way to look at it, because we've been missing Hulk so much and we only get little bits of him. We got him in the Avengers, we got him in Thor Ragnarok, but to see both of them in it was awesome. So when they were sitting in the diner and Hulk was sitting there in his cardigan and glasses and taking pictures with people, that had to be one of the best things on this planet. Another really surprising moment for me had to be when Clint and Natasha went to go look for the Soul Stone. I want to mention that part because I was surprised by how affected I was by that scene, because they play so much smaller, I don't want to say insignificant roles because it's not, but so much smaller roles that I wasn't expecting to get emotionally tied up in that scene, but I did. And that goes to show how Marvel has developed every single aspect of their characters, that scene alone, and it doesn't surprise me that Natasha sacrificed herself, was just so impactful. And I'm really hoping for a Black Widow solo film origin story. That would be amazing. I want to wrap up towards the end of this video. My favorite scene had to obviously be the ending scene, the end war, the final showdown, the final battlefield, where the Avengers assemble. Okay, wait, you guys already know. The Avengers assemble scene with Captain America picking up Thor's hammer, because, like, oh God, that just really hit my heart, because we all remember after the original Avengers how we thought for a second that Steve possibly moved the hammer, and you know, he played it off. We all knew he could pick it up, and he finally did, and that was amazing. And then to see all of the army show up from everywhere, Guardians of the Galaxy, from Wakanda, everywhere was just showing up. That was such an amazing, even just visually stunning scene. It was incredible. What an amazing, amazing ending to this story. It really was. And just the little things, even just seeing certain characters come back, seeing Tony and Peter Parker reunite, it was just unreal. Now let's just talk about the actual ending. Let's talk about Tony, because to see Tony after he had his daughter, to see him living with Pepper out in the mountains or by this lake with his amazing family, to see him trying to stay away from things, and we knew that Tony couldn't because he's just been carrying guilt around for so long. It's just incredible that the ending would be that he puts on the gauntlet and says those amazing magical words, "I am Iron Man," bringing us full circle back to the original film that started this amazing franchise. I cannot begin to tell you that I cried more than was necessary for an adult at a superhero film. Okay, it was unreal. The moment he looked at Doctor Strange and they're looking at each other, and before he grabbed, I already knew. I was like, no, I already knew that there was a big possibility that Tony and Captain America were gonna die, most likely both of them, but I really was hoping that Tony wouldn't. But it made sense because Tony would be the most impactful character to die. So it was just incredible. It kind of gave me that same feeling when I saw Logan, and Logan dies in the end, and it just felt like a beautiful farewell to an amazing character. So I loved Avengers Endgame. It was amazing. And you guys, tell me how you guys felt. Comment down below your favorite parts, and if any of the parts that I mentioned were one of your favorites. But those were the highlighted moments for me in this movie. It was amazing, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until the next time. Mwah.